Hey there, everybody. Greg DiGrando from the El Paso County Public Information Office. We are now heading into segment 2, part 2 of our segment on the Westside Avenue Action Plan. That's a construction project going on the Manitou and Colorado Avenue from 31st Street down to the Highway 24 interchange. And we are looking ahead to the week of June 19th through the 24th. Join now Dennis Barron. He is the project manager for El Paso County. We've been very involved in this project, so we obviously want to give everybody a heads up to what's coming. So what is coming up next week?
Okay, next week we're going to be working on more work on the water line, trying to make the connection of the 10-inch water line to the existing line at the west end of the project down by the Loaf and Jug, down around here. We have some coordination issues to do to make sure we can shut the valve down, working with Manitou Springs on that, or the water line down so that we can do the tie-in there, but we think we have that a plan in place to make that work. And then once we get that tie-in, we'll be making the remaining connections for the businesses on the south side to the new service, and hopefully be done with all the connections and the tie-ins for the south side. The connections to some of the businesses on the north side will occur at a future date. Also next week we'll be continuing to construct our storm sewer to the creek. It's a big pipe. I think it's a 54-inch diameter pipe, so it's fairly large. It's very deep. It needs to take the storm system, collect it on the roadway down to the creek, and so those will be the two major items we'll be doing. We'll be doing some patching of the areas, the trench areas that we've done, getting ready to clean up the area for the following week for the prep for the 4th of July coming.
So basically what you guys were hoping to do last week, where you ran into some issues, that is now going to be pushed back to this week.
That's correct. Some of the tie-in we had hoped to complete this week, and that will now move to early next week. I think Monday is scheduled.
And it looked like you were pointing kind of in front of the days in about how many businesses might be affected by this.
Well, if we can get the line shut down, I think there's 4 or 5 businesses down at the west end of the project that will be impacted by the tie-in. We'll try and minimize that as much as possible. We try and start as early in the morning as we can, so we're out of the way as quickly as possible. Pending complications that we uncover as we go along, it should go fairly smoothly.
Right, and the goal is to avoid what you guys had to do last week, where you had to kind of tie into the Becker's line, and then it affected a little here. You're hoping to isolate it to the west side of the project.
We are hoping to do that, but again, that will depend on being able to shut that line down. An alternative plan that we're looking at is if we are unable to get that completely closed down to allow us to make the connection, is to come back to Becker's, shut it down for a short period of time, install a valve down there, turn it back on so that we can isolate just those businesses at the end. So we're actually going to be talking about that later today.
Okay, let's talk about the closures and which side of the road is traffic going to be on? Where are some of the shifts going to be?
Okay, primarily it'll be around the water line work at the west end of the project next week. We're anticipating that early in the week our storm line will be across the road here. Possibly Monday we'll still have this, so there will be a bypass around this if we're still on the road. Okay. But once we get out of the road, we will plate that over, start filling that in so traffic could drive on that, and the construction of the storm line will be off of the roadway.
So is it 2 sets of flaggers then? Sets of flaggers here, and then also on the west side?
Yeah, there's actually multiple flaggers, okay, because you need to, if we have 2 ends, you're controlling this zone and controlling this, and they need to coordinate with each other.
Okay, and which side looks like going to be on this side of the road?
No, will be essentially as you're driving into Manitou from the east. You'll be on the right side of the road. If we're still doing this work, you'll be bypassed around there. Okay. But after you get to Crystal Hills, you'll be shifted back over to the north side, continue on down. And in this area, it will probably be one lane, so they'll have to go east, clear out, then the traffic that was held on the west will go the other way.
Okay. Looking ahead, and I know it's early, but to next weekend, thoughts for next weekend's construction? You think you'll be working next Saturday because you're off this Saturday?
We're planning on working Saturdays. It will depend how the work goes during the week. Okay, if we can get most of it done during the week, we will probably not work. But as of now, it is a planned work day. Again, we're trying to get all this done and cleaned up for the 4th of July, so it will depend on how it impacts that schedule.
Right, that's what I was going to say. A lot of this, what you guys are doing now, is frantically working so you can really shut things down for probably, I believe it's 5 days.
Yeah,
that you're shutting down for 4th of July.
we're hoping to be off the road early Friday before the 4th of July weekend, and then we'll be back in construction on that Wednesday, the day after the 4th of July.
Okay, we'll get to that hurdle when we get to it.
Yes, sir.
Anything else for next week?
No, I think that's about it. If we can accomplish the water line tie-ins, get those connections made, and get out of the road for the storm sewer, we'll be in good shape.
All right, thanks, Dennis. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Don't forget, you can email me your questions. If you have some questions for Dennis, you can email me at gregdingrando@elpasoco.com. We can gather up those questions and bring it back to Dennis next week. All right, everybody, have a great day.